All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and say welcome to the first online open house. And so this is going to be an Overmyer's Law Studies open house PowerPoint. So as I said a second ago, welcome to this new and very unique open house. This is something that's completely different to everyone, and it's something we're all trying to figure out, but we'll get through it together. So first thing is going to be introduction to the course and like the course objectives. So the way law studies is set up is it's a preview and preparation for civics class. So civics is really hard. It's a fast-paced course, and so law studies gives them a strong foundation to get set up for that course. So for law studies, we're going to look into and study the rights of duties and citizenship. And it's the study of the United States government. So we're going to look into those things pretty heavily. We also have the principles, functions, and organization of government, the origins of the American political system, the roles, rights, and responsibilities of citizens, and methods of active participation in our political system. So what all that's essentially saying is we're trying to explain to the students about the United States government, how it works, how it's set up, and what they can do to make an impact. So like, what are their rights as citizens and what are their duties? One of their duties is to vote. But we want them to be informed and educated voters. We want them to know what they're actually voting about, to be up to date on topics and on issues and things like that, and just understand more than what some people do. So everything else is going to be like how the class is set up. So the first one's going to be how to turn work in. Typically speaking, everything can be turned on focus. 99% of the work will be submitted on focus. The only times it's not is when it's checked in class. And so with all this COVID stuff going on, we're not giving worksheets and then having worksheets returned. Everything is going to be done in an interactive notebook. And so that's never technically turned in. I just check it every 3 to 4 weeks. And anything else, though, any other sort of assignment, anything else, it will be submitted on focus, whether it's going to be a picture of the assignment, whether it's going to be a typed up digital version or something like that, it will be submitted on focus. And even if it's not, so for example, the notebook check, even that is not submitted on focus, I check it. The grade and the description and the explanation of it will still end up on focus. So if you have any sort of questions, comments, concerns about grades, everything in terms of grades will be put on focus. How to contact me. So I feel that open communication between all the people involved, so all the students, parents, guardians, and teachers and guidance counselors and everyone, communication is a key part to like keeping students engaged and successful, and especially in middle school when they're at such an impressionable age. The best way to get in touch with me is through email, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible, or through this phone number that I provided. So I am a traveling teacher, meaning I don't have a room. So I go from class to class, just like the students do. The bell rings and I have to pick up my stuff and move. So I don't have a room that can be called. I don't have I have a school voicemail, but I don't check it that often just because, like I said, I don't have a room. I don't have a phone. I have to use somebody else's, blah, blah, blah. So your best ways to get in contact with me are going to be this email address right here, which is my school email address, my DCPS one. I check it pretty much hourly. Just whenever I'm on the computer, I just click on the tab to see if I got anything new or anything I need to respond to. Try to respond pretty quickly. Or you have this number. So this is a Google Voice number. So it's one I use only for school. That is all it's for. That's the only people that have it. And you can text me on that. And with text messages, I can get them straight to my phone through Google Voice. And I typically respond relatively quickly. You can call me on that number, but I'm just honestly, if you call anytime during the day, it's during school, I can't answer. A lot of times after school, I have practice or other activities. And then by the time I get home, it's just honestly harder to get a hold of me that way. But you're more than welcome to call. There's a chance I'll answer. And if not, you can leave a message just to convey what you're trying to ask. in that sense, and I'll do my best to get back to you as quickly as possible. But those are going to be the two best ways to get a hold of me. Next, we got tutoring / extra help. So either of those is available upon request. So right now, everyone's got crazy schedules. I know I do, and we got varying capabilities. So all I'm trying to say is we'll do whatever we need to do to make sure that the student gets as much help as they need. All they have to do is ask. So for history and like law studies or history in general, a lot of the times it's not as much tutoring as it is extra help. That's why I kind of did the slash. So it's help just understanding the assignment, help doing the work, making sure the student stays motivated to do it, to keep up on top of their grades and things like that. And a lot of the times that kind of stuff can be done through just messaging back and forth and explaining something one more time and things like that. With all this stuff going on, I don't really think we're going to be doing too much in person, like face-to-face tutoring. Most of it is going to be online. So if you do reach out, we'll try and schedule a time to make a Teams meeting or something like that, where we can have some like extra help, some extra practice with the work. But all you have to do is ask. Grading policy. So for me, grades are based on a total number of points, and grades are developed through tests, classwork, and homework. The more valuable the assignment, the more points it's worth. So if we do vocab words, there's only 10 of them, they'll get 10 points. 1 point per vocab word. Vocab's pretty low, it's not that hard, but there was 10 of them. So for example, if we do 20 vocab words, same boat. 20 vocab words, 1 point a word, and you get 20 points. Tests range anywhere from 25 to 50, or quizzes from 25 to 50, tests from 50 to 100. Most classwork is going to be 10 to 15 points, kind of depending on how long it took, how hard it is, things like that. But at the end of the day, the more valuable, the more difficult the assignment is, the more points it's worth to make it worth the student's time to do it. Directions for makeup work. So if a student's absent, it's their responsibility to ask for missed work and then turn it in. I have a lot of students that are absent every day. I can't keep track of who was here what day, what they missed, things like that. So if a student's absent, they just have to come the next day or the next time I see them or something like that, ask what they missed, and I'm more than happy to give it to them. As a traveling teacher, I can only keep so many papers with me, so I try to keep extra copies, but I can only keep them for 4 or 5 days. And after that, it gets too crowded, too jumbled, because I can't keep things in a file cabinet. I have to keep them in a couple binders I have. And after a while, I have to get rid of what's in the binders and replace it with the new work. So, but if a student misses one day and they tell me the next day, I have it. If they wait a couple weeks, I don't have that assignment anymore. It's old. It's past the extension, like due date anyway. But yeah. So next, students will receive an extension based on the amount of time they miss. So if a student does miss one day, they get a 1-day extension on that assignment, and it'll be due 1 day later than everyone else's. So that is pretty much it for me. That's my whole class pretty much laid out. I try to make things as simple as possible so the students understand, and there aren't any weird assignments, anything unique probably isn't the right word, but anything different, anything confusing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns about anything, please feel free to reach out via the email or the Google Voice number, and I'll do my best to get back to you. That's it. Thank you.